Thank you, Kim and Cami. Welcome to Big Time Paranormal right here on Worldwide Paranormal Network. I am Larry Gonzalez, and I am so pleased that you're here with us. It's hard to believe that I've been doing this for 14 weeks. It's been an interesting experience for me. It reminds me of the old adage, may you live in interesting times. But then again, that was actually meant as a curse with the Chinese, not as a blessing. But that might explain a lot of things in my life. Anyway, I hope everybody had a wonderful Memorial Day. For those of you that are in other countries that might wonder what our Memorial Day is about, it's really a tradition that started when, after the Civil War ended, it was to remember those who fell in the Civil War on both sides. It wasn't until the end of World War I where it was made into a remembrance of all soldiers who fell in battle. So this is a wonderful time for us to remember those who have helped and freed people around the world, protect, and so on. Despite what you might think of us in other countries, these men and women give so much and they sacrifice so much. It's good to honor them. So thank you. If you served, thank you. If your parents served, thank them. Thank all veterans. Now, with that being said, let's get on with some of the news for the past week. Now, the news this week was pretty light when it came to the paranormal stuff. I know that last week I did a lot of stuff when it came to technology and stuff like that. Believe it or not, sometimes it's kind of hard to find news, but we're going to get started right away. Our first story has to do with, it's over in Britain. It is very interesting because it's actually a memorial for a gentleman who was a pilot who was killed in 1913. He flew for the Royal Flying Corps. His name was Lieutenant Desmond Arthur. Now, Lieutenant Desmond Arthur, he crashed his biplane in 1913 in nearby Lunan Bay, and of course this is in London. In Britain. About 3 years after he died, that's when they started seeing his ghost there in the airfield. They have seen it over the years, so they decided that our Memorial Day, which is yesterday, they were going to honor him by laying a wreath in his honor. And so it's nice to see that he's finally going to get his just due. But it's interesting that even Britain, the airfield, they recognize that there's a ghost there. This story is rather unusual. The story has to do with a ghost ship. It was an abandoned, possibly toxic cruise ship. I wonder if they got it from a certain company that calls itself Caribbean. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, the cruise ship has been lost. It was lost in the North Atlantic. The problem is that the ship is called, now this is Russian, so Lubul Orlov, something like that. Left Canada, bound for a shipyard in Dominican Republic in January 23rd. The only problem was that it disappeared. And they actually got to see this ghost ship about 500 miles off the coast of Ireland. It's been also seen off about 800 miles off of Newfoundland. Now, what's interesting about the Newfoundland part is that the Coast Guard, the Canadian Coast Guard, had received the emergency radio beacon flash the location of the ship, according to the Vancouver Sun. So what caused the emergency signal to come on? I don't know. It was toxic. Anyway, no further sightings have been seen of the ship. So who knows where it's at? Possibly sank. Who knows? But then again, the ocean's big, and I understand he tend to lose things all the time. So I don't feel so bad when I lose my keys in the house, and I'm going, "Where's my keys?" Okay, our final story. This is a professional starer. If you have $72 just, laying around, and you thought, and you lived in the Denver area, you might have bought a full day pass to have Croatian faith gazer Breko stare at you for an entire day. Now, supposedly, when he stares at you, he's supposed to be able to cause healing and spontaneous changes. So, I'm pretty good at that. I tend to stare at the TV real good, where I actually feel like I could change. But I bet if I stare at a mirror long enough, I can actually cause something to happen. Let's see what happens. No, nothing happened. I don't know. I guess I'm not that good. Apparently I made no changes. Anyway, up next, conventions. Okay, our first convention, we've reported this before, but it's good to go over some of them just so in case you're new, you haven't seen any of these conventions before that have been reported. The first one is the Upper Peninsula Paranormal Research Society in Kiwandan Casino. This is pretty neat because the casino is helping to put this on. This is going to be in August 9th and 9th, 10th. This is the 4th annual Michigan Paranormal Convention. The largest lineup yet. It's a 2-day event. And they're going to have people like Dave Schrader, from Paranormal Challenge, Darkness Radio. These are the ones you're going to recognize from Ghost Hunters and Ghost Hunters International. You have Adam Berry, Amy Bruni, Ben Henson, Bill Murphy, Fact or Fate, Britt Griffith, Chip Coffey, one of my favorites, and Joe Chin. They're going to be at this. And again, this is the Upper Peninsula Paranormal Research Society in Kiwandan Casino. And we'll make sure to put a link right in the bottom, or a website, so you guys could check it out for yourselves. So check it out, August 9th and 10th. Well, that was fun. I actually recorded, or I thought I recorded, 2 different recordings for the conventions, and I found out I just took pictures of myself, so I have to re-record it. Yay! Okay, so our second convention is the Comic-Con International San Diego. My dog Boba. Anyway, this is going to take place in San Diego, July 18th and 21st. It's a 4-day event. It's the 44th annual show. Now, again, a 4-day event. Now, I normally don't report on these kind of conventions because they tend to lead more toward the comic book stuff. But the conventions, those kind of conventions like that one, or WonderCon or whatever, has been shifting away from it more and showing more of the entertainment stuff. Like, they'll show trailers for the Avengers or Iron Man or Man of Steel, stuff like that. And so they tend to bring the actors, actresses, footage, really, really cool stuff. like the props, armor, whatever they might have. So if you're into that, go ahead and check it out. So again, that's in San Diego. Beautiful city, by the way. I used to go down there all the time. Okay, now we at Big Time Paranormal and also Worldwide Paranormal Network feel pretty much the same about this. The big conventions tend to get all the publicity, all the big names, and so on. So it's actually kind of nice when you have a group of people that are trying to put on a convention for the love of it. This is going to be the New England UFO Conference 2013. It's supposed to take place Saturday, October 26th. Now, what they want to do is they want to do a fundraiser and raise the money to bring in big names like Stan Friedman to give talks and stuff like that. Now, they don't do these things for free. I wish we could get them to do it for free, but I understand they got to make a living. The idea is that if they could raise enough funds and bring these people in, then they will go ahead and be able to allow the public to come in for free. So obviously they're doing it for the love of it, not for the money. This event is supposed to take place in Leomonster, Massachusetts. Boy, am I getting that. I'm probably saying that wrong. Like you, Joe. That's me. Anyway, they want to do this and also have it on an Access TV show. It would be hosted by Carl Paramini, Access TV. The event is supposed to help the convention. It's going to be, let's see, our campaign kickoff show can now be seen on Cityscope. We are currently seeking volunteers to help make this event happen. So they're obviously asking people, we don't have a lot of money, but we would love for you to volunteer. And of course, they're looking for vendors. And if you're in the New England area, that would be wonderful if you can help them and support them. It'll be an opportunity for you to get some names out there and make some connections, as you can imagine. The good thing about these things, you got to remember, is they do help when it comes to the local economy. And this will help restaurants, hotels, anything that's in the area will generate money for the local stores and so on. So check that out. It's worth it to check it out. Now these two, they're not conventions, but they're points of interest. I'm going to put them back to back because they really are kind of the same thing. Everybody knows about Roswell, or at least if you're in the UFO community, you know about it. Of course, everybody that's gone to science fiction movies knows about Area 51. So they have an International UFO Museum and Research Center. The museum is located at 114 North Main Street, Roswell, New Mexico. The phone number is 575-625-9495. Now, my brother went to this a few years ago, and he thought it was really interesting, and how they changed the entire city to be more UFO and aliens. So, they have all kinds of things there. So, if you want to check out something like that, I think that would be really fun. So, remember, Roswell, New Mexico. The next point of destination for you, if you're in the UFO stuff, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Encounters of the UFO Experience. It's a interactive journey exploring alien encounters from ancient times to modern day. What it basically is it's going to have testimonials, it will have pictures, it will have recordings and stuff like that, all set up for you to check out for yourself. Now, they have it from Memorial Day to Labor Day. Once Labor Day is over, they want to take it on the road, a worldwide tour. Probably tour with like Kiss or Jennifer Lopez. Maybe that's what they'll do. Anyway, this is right now. It's at Broadway at the Beach. The tickets for adults are $14, $12 for seniors and students, $10 for children ages 4 through 12. Children under the age of 3 are free. So there you go. So maybe you can go on Jennifer Lopez or whoever's going to be there. You can go, rock on! Before it hits tour, the world tour. You could get one of those t-shirts that say, like South Carolina, San Francisco, New York, France, the UK. Anyway, that is it for the conventions. On this one, we're going to be talking about a new TV show that I actually got a chance to see. Maybe you've seen it too. It's William Shatner's Weird or What on Sci-Fi. When I first heard that he was doing something like that, it reminds me of his colleague from Star Trek, Leonard Nimoy, when he did In Search Of. The only thing is that William Shatner has his charisma and his sense of humor and so on. So he brings that with each and every story. I got a chance to see them talking about spontaneous human combustion. A woman fell out of the air. She should have died, but people thought it was a guardian angel that saved her life. Stuff like that. And I like the show. I've gone to Star Trek conventions and met William Shatner. He is a charismatic individual. He is you can't help but like him when you talk to him. So you'll like the show because it brings, like I said, he brings a little bit of his personality, his sense of humor to each of the stories. But I think it's worthwhile, and you should give it a try. Finally, our prayers to those that suffered terrible damage and loss of life in Oklahoma with the tornado that destroyed so much. I'm sure you've seen the pictures on CNN or Fox News. The devastation. It looked like I can't describe it. Just everything is just flattened, and those people just lost everything, and they're trying to put everything back together. So our prayers, our hopes to all those people. May God protect you and watch over you. And I hope you can get your lives back together. Now, remember, if you want to come over to Facebook and look for me, and of course I have also Julia Di Maria on Facebook, also posting on Big Time Paranormal. We have been posting a lot. We've been a little bit more careful because if we overpost, Facebook tends to knock us off for 48 hours. So we've had to scale back a little bit. We've taken shifts. And so she posts some things, I post some things, and it's working out so far. So come over there and take a look. If you like it, like the page. Our goal right now is 1,000. We're getting closer. As of right now, as I'm recording, we're almost at 875 likes. So we're getting closer to the 1,000 mark. So I'm really honored and humbled so many people like it. I also want to thank Worldwide Paranormal Network. I always had trouble getting that out. But Kim and Cami has been really supportive with everything we do. And thank you. Thank everyone. And remember, today is your day. Go out and make it happen. We'll see you next time.